Daybreak Africa is your one-stop top-notch breakfast show that brings you all the interesting stories happening in and around Africa.
Because we have all the morning essentials,
including the latest news, sports, weather, and events. And of course, the people.
Daybreak Africa on Television Nigerian.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
It is another beautiful morning, and of course it's an amazing, lovely Tuesday morning right here from Abuja studio, and it's Happy New Month. Good morning and many thanks for joining us. Like we promised yesterday, we are here again to take you on another ride on the program Daybreak Africa on Television Nigeria. My name is Elvis Oga. Good morning to you.
And my name is Mercy Joe. Good morning, everyone. Happy New Month, everyone. This is the 1st of July. I know some persons that were birthed to in this particular month. Two very close people to me. Happy birthday in advance.
Good morning, Mercy, and then Happy New Month to you.
Happy New Month to you
wow.
too. Yes.
Interestingly, you know, this marks another phase in the year. This is more like the first day in the second chapter. Half of the year.
We give God all the glory.
Honestly.
Anyway, skills and knowledge are the driving forces of economic growth and social development. Despite the current high level of unemployment, harnessing Nigeria's young demography through appropriate skill development efforts provides an opportunity to achieve inclusion and productivity within the country. Large-scale development is the main policy thrust of the NPower program. NPower addresses the challenges of youth unemployment by providing a structure for large-scale, relevant work skills acquisition.
If you recall yesterday when we discussed or talked about the Empower scheme, we were trying to see how it's more like a two-in-one package.
Yeah.
Trying to attend to the problem or address the problem of unemployment and then unemployability of the Nigerian teeming population.
And you also still said it's a way of preparing them for their future jobs.
Exactly.
Like probably both mentally in the skill acquisition and what have you.
You know, it's not. I don't really know how the internship system has actually been looked into, but this is another opportunity for those who don't really study courses or don't really have that chance to go through internship. This is more like another way of preparing them so that when they are faced with the real job situation, and they will know how to go about it. Because most times we tend to look at, okay, we have high rate of unemployment in the country, but even if these jobs are available, do you think we have capable ones, or when people are being employed to do a job, what happens when even in the office you still find things not being done properly or things not being done well?
Because they don't have a background knowledge of the job. They studied it in school, but it's another thing to practice it as well. Because you see these days they'll say experience of up to 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, and this Empire is going to be a good avenue for today. Okay, I did Empire like an internship stuff.
For
you show it
time.
For a period of time. So it's the same thing you said, preparing them for their future jobs as well as curbing unemployment for the meanwhile in the country.
When you're talking about Empower, especially with what we've seen as, do I call them the guidelines or the way you need to go about so that you can actually be you can be employed into the scheme or be injected into the scheme. You see that, okay, you are supposed to be between 18 years and 35 years. and then you try to study the population of the country, and then what age range has the highest number of unemployment, it still falls within that range. So that's more like the government or the people involved doing a very good background check to see that, okay, if we can address the problem of these people, then it will go a long way. I also saw from some quarters where the projected number of people they want to recruit at the moment is about 400,000. And then we have the NAGRO, NTech, NTEACH, and other one that actually, okay, people that don't have other certificate apart from their O level are still given a place to try their hands. That's where the NTech comes in, and the other angles of it as well. And then the government trying to make a very loud statement and then stamp it on ground that they really mean business when we talk about agriculture. I heard the agriculture is going to be given the priority according to statement credited to the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. And like basically, if it's been followed fully, it will go a long way. All
right. There are lots of varieties over there. The application for Batch C just came out, I think a week ago.
Yes.
And people,
that was on the 26th precisely of
26th of last month. And people have been applying. And the last time we talked about over 1 million plus.
Two days after declaring the site open, it was reported that over 1 million people have applied. And then yesterday, somebody was telling me that it has, I think, entered 2 million already. And then, apart from exposing the high rate of unemployment in the country, somebody tried to look at the gains with this number, and she said that's more like depicting the confidence that the people have in the scheme. And then people have been trying to make some comparison between this scheme and other similar scheme that has been in the past. You remember the Shopee, right?
Yes.
And then try to look at how transparent this is, and then how it's not really easy to compromise because everything needs to be done online and all of that. The issue with Empower, especially with the batch A and batch B, actually showed how if we can get our stats, our statistics right, and our data collection right, we'll be able to address so many problems in the country. Because every time we try to address even the problem of insecurity and everything, we tend to relate it to lack of data, lack of statistics, and all of that. But I think the MBS have been trying lately. The Nigerian Bureau of Statistics been churning out some kind of statistic lately that we'll be using to do some kind of analysis, and it's been going fine.
Yes, analysis. Talking about analysis, we'd love to launch a street quick bite now on comments and responses from people concerning the Empower scheme.
The long-term plan of this Empower should have been, if these people after 3 years, is either you retain them in the system, because already they were not in the system before. You brought them into the system, now they have acquired knowledge about the system, you are telling them to leave the system again.
I think for the batch A and B, it should be okay for them so that new people batch C come in.
There should be room for both the old and new, so they shouldn't scrap any.
Okay, so what can you say about the Empower program going on right now? Should government go ahead to scrap out batch A and B, the recommended batch C? And secondly, what do you think will happen to the number of persons who have applied? They need less than 500,000, and over 1 million persons have applied already.
Okay, first of all, those people that you are stopping work, have you made a provision for them? That's the first question.
The government have trained them for 2 years. For the program will last for 2 years, and the government have trained them.
Train them to do what?
On the skill.
For instance, somebody is a teacher, and now he has acquired knowledge or experience to teach. Now you say the person should not leave the teaching field and go to where? I thought this is an exercise to train people on a particular field in order to add value in that system. For instance, the NTEACH. You have trained them for like, some of them have lasted for like 3 years. And these people, first of all, they were graduates. Some of them have even obtained higher degrees in the system already now, preparing their mind that they will be retained in the system. Now you are stopping them work. You know, sometimes when our government, they are implementing some policies, they don't have long-term plan. The long-term plan of this Empower should have been, if these people after 3 years, is either you retain them in the system, Because already they were not in the system before. You brought them into the system. Now they have acquired knowledge about the system. You are telling them to leave the system again and go to where? That is the question. So it's not good.
I think it's the government, so there should be room for both the old and new. So they shouldn't scrap any, because this COVID has really taken a toll on the youths and their assets, even their jobs. So scrapping the old ones and leaving the new, what are the old ones left for? What are they going to be doing? It might even crime, increase in crime rate and so many other things. So I think they should come to the middle and make room for both old and new. Both the old badges and the badge C now that just started their registrations.
Now, if you are in the position to, how can you handle the both?
How can I handle it? Well, I don't know, because the government, they know their funds, they know how they deal with their funds. Left for me, I don't know how I'll handle it, but as for the government, they can generate funds from anywhere to accommodate these people, so they should.
You are of the opinion that the government should keep the both?
Yes, that's my opinion. They should make room for both. They shouldn't scrap it, because these are youths we're talking about. So scrapping out the old and in with the new, then the old, what are they left for? I know they want to get others involved in the program, but they should not scrap the old. They should find a way to adjust to both the old and the new. Maybe the old, because of this COVID in particular, that's even where my emphasis on this COVID-19 is going to affect so many people. So this should be an opportunity for them to even have something to do.
There should be a level playground in the selection, because some persons are like saying they have shared the slots to senators and some top government officials, which I don't think is the right thing to do. But they should leave it on a level playground. Anybody that is qualified should be chosen, and this thing should be shared equally among the states and local government. Thanks.
Okay. This subscribe, the government want to scrap the batch A and batch B, so this subscribe to that?
Yes, I think that is not too good, because batch A have been there for almost 3 years now, and why batch B have just benefited for just 2 years. There is a kind of discrimination or something like that. So why should some group of persons spend 3 years and then others 2 years? Then don't be surprised that even this batch C, they might say 1 year. It's not good.
This is stage for another set of people to be absorbed and get trained. So that is the way it goes, and I believe it is right.
Now there is no money to start up. What can you say about that? There's no money for them to start out to develop themselves on the training. Do you mean the government should support them or what?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. The government, the private sectors. So far as you have, I think money is the secondary. The primary thing is for you to have the skills. Because if you get the money without the skills, you end up blowing up the money. So if you have the skills, you can suffer for money.
I see no reason of terminating their appointment. But if there is no enough budget, there are some there that have never even benefit, even a little. I think for the batch A and B, it should be okay for them, so that new people by C coming, they also can pay for it, so that at least it will circulate around. I think I support the idea of ending their benefit. Batch A are ending this June 30th, while batch B next month July. Then concerning the numbers of people that have applied so far for this batch C within the 48 hours. So yes, from there you will know that if I am in the shoe, because they need 400,000 applicants. Because they have tried for batch A and B, why not increase the number? So that, because from there they will know that the numbers of unemployment in this country are much now, and even with this 400,000 people applicant they need, not all that they will even take, because there are some people that have their own applicant they already have their own candidate they already. Before you know, here and there they will screen some people out and they will replace all their people they have. others that suffer to apply the job at the end. I personally myself, I apply my own today. Well, I have been trying since that Friday 26th. The website was not open, the network was very bad, but today I succeed to apply. And when I go through my phone, I was seeing something like download the parents/guardian form. Well, when I was applying, I did not see such a thing like that. I don't even know where we'll get all those ones to download. They are looking for one way or the other to disqualify people and put whosoever they want. So I think I don't have much to say concerning this again, but they should do something for the favor of we masses, so that at least, no matter what, if one way closed, another way open. Now, presently, now you see, it's very hard to get something doing. A graduate will be doing Okada, riding Okada here and there, has nothing, no job, nothing. Most especially this coronavirus, COVID-19 of a thing, lockdown without any provision for the indigent. People have been suffering here and there. So if they can use this one to help people to come to their aid, to answer their cry, I think it will be nice.
Can I go? Okay, sir. What can you say about the Empower going on at the Bashi?
Actually, what I have to say about this Empower thing is the 30,000 naira that government made provision for. If I'm to voice out my own opinion, I think it should be more than 30,000. You understand? Because most people applying for Empower are graduates. You get it? You understand? That's what I have to say.
Batch A and Batch B. Should they go ahead and scrap out the Batch A and B, or should they manage to combine the both together?
No, if they go ahead to scrap Batch A and Batch B, is somehow indirectly creating unemployment. It's like worsening the situation. You understand? Look at, they say they made provision for 400,000 people, right? 400,000 applicants. But within maybe 48, let me say within 24 hours, you understand? More than 1 million people applied for Empower. I don't know if you had it on news. You understand? So instead of scrapping all those ones, I don't think, in my opinion, I'm not in support of that one.
Okay, what do you think the government should do now? Advise the government.
Look, one thing government need to do now to focus on is employment first, security.
They started by Batch A and Batch B. There's no result. Why would they want to go to Batch C? If there's any result from the two previous badges, we can say they should continue. When there's no good result, I don't think there's any need for Batch 3. Don't you think so?
So what I say now? Are you saying the government should scrap it out or should suspend it?
They should suspend for now and give us result on the two badges they've conducted before.
Okay, so what will you advise the government to do regarding the unemployment in Nigeria?
We cannot advise the government for now because they don't have listening ears.
Well, I'm not a politician. I don't have anything to contribute on this area.
So anything that have no proper arrangements, especially in the area of government, I don't so much subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to it.
So do you want the government to keep the Batch C and scrap the Batch B, or should they stop the program? What do you advise the government?
They should go back to the way of getting employment, the system. I mean, we had it early, in those years when they want to employ. You publish the numbers of workers you need, either in the paper or on the TV, on the air. You let the public know what you want to. The intention must be visible to everybody to see. It's not just something you just arrange within the corridor of your office and you begin to tell people that you are employed so number into the system. Nobody is going to believe in that. Nobody is going to take you serious.
My brother, everything concerning this Nigeria is now confusing. Was it last week or last 2 weeks? They told us that Empower scrambled about 500,000 employees. That they have employed before. Now they are coming back to employ. Is it to replace those ones that they sacked? Why did they sack those ones? That's the question that should be in people's mind.
You said their program have exhausted.
If the program has exhausted, what have those ones achieved? Have they been employed?
Where did you put them? You push 500,000 people back to labor market, you want to pick 500,000 more. What can we say about it now? What's the balance? I don't trust whatever they are doing in that Empower. To me, as a person, I don't trust whatever they are doing there. Because pushing people out 500,000, you want to employ 500,000 in. Those ones you push out, where do you want them to go? Is it that you feel you have empowered them? How do you monitor the empowerment? Whether they have achieved what you want them to achieve?
The people that have benefited, I think there should be a need to scrap them out so that they will take in new people. Because every 3 months, Nigerian universities are graduating students, and those people need to benefit. And that is my opinion.
Those people that have benefited already, don't you think it will create unemployment and more crime in Nigeria?
No, it will not. Without Empower, crime will still go on. And even since there's Empower, crime is still going on. So I don't think it will increase any crime, and I don't think it will reduce any crime. No enforcement agents have to do their job.
Do you think it should be managed well, since within 48 hours, over 1 million plus have registered on the site already? Why they need less than 500?
I think what I would advise is that they should try to accommodate all.
It will lead to more unemployment problem. So I think it's important, let them fix them, and let them give them opportunity.
Beautiful response there from the people on the streets of Nigeria.
When I was actually listening to those comments, I could actually pinpoint some certain things. It shows that most people don't really get a background check what Empower is all about.
Like the aim of this scheme.
Some people actually got very valid point attached to their reasons or their thought or sentiment they share concerning that. And I think somebody was talking about what is the achievement or the result of the first 2 batches, that we needed to evaluate those results first to know whether we need another batch. There's this thing that the current administration has actually been pushing forward concerning the ease of doing business and the support for small, medium enterprises.
Yes.
And that's one way, because if you look at it at the long run, when they prepare you for a real job situation and then try to see that, okay, you could be a good entrepreneur on your own, that's one part that Empower tends to satisfy or tends to cater for. But basically, when the Empower issue came out, when so many people were talking about, okay, this is more like an entrepreneurship driven scheme that will actually help people become good entrepreneurs when they are off the system. But somebody was trying to look at the perfect Nigerian situation. How do you feed on 30,000 naira per month, and then you'll be able to save, so that maybe at the end of the scheme you have something to fall back on, maybe to start up your own business and all. That's one side of it.
That's one side that they're coming from.
Yes.
But already 30,000 naira is even the minimum wage.
Yes,
for
exactly.
Nigeria.
Because then it was even 19, above. Yeah, it was
below?
18,000 naira minimum wage. That was when Empower came. But along the line, we saw that minimum wage has actually been upped.
So it had to affect the Empower as well.
I don't really know.
Nigerians,
maybe from the appropriate quarters or authorities, they'll have to tell us if that will affect that. But we need to look at it. If we're now saying this is more like, okay, preparing people to be good entrepreneurs, when they are done,
it's a preparation.
Is there a provision for them to get a loan from somewhere, or are they expected to be saving some little part of money from this 30,000 they are giving monthly, so that at the end of the day they can start their own business with it?
You can't give us food, and you still want them to give you a spoon to eat the food. Anyway, let's go across Africa and get the news across Africa.
Welcome to News Across Africa on Daybreak Africa. The Democratic Republic of Congo's Justice Minister, Celestin Tunde Kasenda, was released from custody on Saturday, just hours after his arrest in the capital Kinshasa, the city's police chief said. The action against Tunda on Saturday came a day after he clashed with President Felix Tshisekedi over the contested legal changes, according to a ministerial source. Tunda has consistently opposed changes in the laws by the sitting government, citing illegality. Reports indicate that the leader of government, Prime Minister Ilunga Ilukamba, expresses his anger at the arrest of the Chief Justice. The controversial reforms include proposals to define the powers of judges, which critics said is a ploy to muzzle the judiciary. They were put forward by the Common Front for Congo, a coalition close to Kabila, who remains a behind-the-scenes force in national politics. Enforcement of virus containment regulation turned deadly in Lesos, a small town in Kenya's Rift Valley, where a witness confirmed that 3 people were killed during confrontations between police and residents over the wearing of face masks. Angered by the death of a cobbler, residents set fire to the house of the local police chief and attacked a police station with stones. In the chaos, 2 other people were shot dead, the eyewitness said. Peter Corey, protester and Lesos resident, said that this was the second time when an individual was gunned down by a police officer, and they were very saddened. Human rights activists for weeks have protested alleged killings by Kenyan police officers while enforcing virus-related restrictions. They also accuse officers of using measures to extort bribes. Kenya has made it compulsory to wear masks in public, and failure to comply brings a $200 fine, a hefty fee for many. Gorée, an island in Senegal linked closely with slave trade, has decided to rename one of its main squares in response to the ongoing racism in the world. The municipal council unanimously agreed to rename the Europe Square Liberty and Human Dignity Square. According to a statement from authorities, the move is in solidarity with the Black Lives Movement protests that have spread across the world, denouncing recurrent racial violence targeted at the black community. The movement was provoked by the death of George Floyd, a black American who was asphyxiated by a white policeman during his arrest in the United States. Voted in favor of decriminalizing homosexuality.